Hi, this is Joe and welcome back to the shop. This is part 2 of vertical milling machine restore. I have a Gorton 9J. I'm midstream using citrus strip. In going through and doing some of the stripping, it's obvious that there were at least 6 or 7 layers of paint that was applied over the years to this milling machine. But in stripping it off, you pretty much have to come off a couple layers at a time. If you have a fairly straight surface, like the side portions of the mill here, you just come in with a putty knife and it removes pretty easily. I'll show you. In the areas where you have a lot of curves, like in the quill mechanism here, there's a lot of curves. There's a lot of little crevices. The citrus strip is a thick gel and it's rather gooey. You brush it on and then you let it set. I've been experimenting from letting it set from a couple hours to 24 hours. The nice thing about it is it will stay moist and gooey for 24 hours. The issues that make this a really cruddy job, you have to rub it off before you put the next coat on. Some of the paint gets really gooey and sticky, and if you just reapply another coat of the citrus strip, it won't work through that already melted layer. You have to remove that. So flat surfaces is pretty easy. Again, you come in with a putty knife and scrape the stuff off. The harder to reach areas, I found out that I have to come in with paper towels and hand wipe those, because if you don't get those old melted layers off, the next new layer of citrus strip doesn't work as well. As you can see, some of the front portions of the mill were getting down to bare metal. Let me reposition the camera here. And as you notice, there's the motor. That's what it looked like when I first started putting the citrus strip on the outer surfaces of the paint. Again, this motor also has about 6 or 7 plies or layers of paint. Let me get my putty knife here. We'll move in a little closer. So I applied this again about 24 hours ago, and as you scrape, you notice it will remove 1 or 2 plies, but again, you have to keep on reapplying. Notice the top surface is sort of a tan to a tan gray. Looks like there's some orangish red was applied in one of the layers. We're now looking at sort of a greenish, and underneath there are several layers of gray based on my earlier stripping on the head. So again, it works pretty nice. Flat surfaces, it's wonderful to work with. You just scrape it off or putty knife it off. Again, some of the tighter corners or nooks and crannies, you have to get in with, here's a wire brush that I use. Not bad, cleans up. But again, because there's so many plies of paint on here, you're going to have to keep on applying and reapplying. And again, the more the paint melts and dissolves, the more gooey it gets and the tougher it is to remove. So let me reposition the camera a little closer here and I'll give you an idea of using the putty knife. Okay, here we've removed some of the top layers, and now we're getting down to the last couple of layers before we hit bare metal. They seem to be 2 layers of gray. The original, I guess the manufacturer originally painted and or powder coated the mill with a gray, but as you see here, flat surface, it removes quite nicely. You just have to keep on reapplying and puttying. Off camera, I took the putty knife and a small wire brush and got all the goopy, melted, dissolved paint off of the mill head. And then I proceeded to hit it with 1 coat of really good coat of Easy Off oven cleaner. Let it set overnight. then I came out with my my drill, my grinder, and my attached with wire brushes, and proceeded to start to wire brushing all the paint off. Came off really nice. I picked up a bag of Dremel assorted wire brushes, and I have 3 different kinds, and these work really nice for getting in around the letters and getting in around the very tight areas around the quill and all around the nuts and bolts there. So I really, these were like $9, almost $10 for a sorted set of 60 small Dremel wire brushes. These are really, really nice. And around the oil cup fittings over here in the corner, it just cleans those up really nice. So you can get in there and get in all the tight little crevices. So I really like these. If you have a similar project, I recommend picking up some fed on the end of a Dremel. And really, really nice. Makes cleaning all the tight little crevices and stuff nice. So just wanted to pass that along. We have the head of the mill just about ready for prepping for paint. We have it all wire brushed. We've put some degreaser on it, rinsed some, sprayed it down with a spray bar with some kerosene and a little paint thinner, wiped it down, and now I'm getting ready to, I'm going to do an acid wash on this. I'm going to wipe it down with acetone, and we're going to do some priming on it. I have a little bit more to do on the motor, wire brushing, and that then will be ready for paint preparation. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video now, and then the next video will start in with paint preparation and painting. So hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for the next video.